Okay, so we now go back in. We now go back in. Super League is back. This is where we left it. The Dragons top, then the Wolves, Warriors, Robins, Saints, and the Giants. Giants in the top 6. Great effort from Huddersfield. They're in good form. They're really starting to produce, aren't they? Are the Huddersfield Giants. And, of course, they're at the bottom. The only team still awaiting their first point is London. But as the Tigers shown against Salford, never take anything for granted in Super League. I think to a man, we all believe that London will get a win at some point during this season. We're just going to have to wait and see when that's going to be. Where did we leave this little beauty? Well, there it is. The Prediction League. All the predictions, of course, we'll be going through those in a few moments' time. This is where we left the Prediction League. Of course, just about pipping Mr. Schofield by 1 point, but it's tightened up brilliantly. And if you remember, guys, in round number 7, the Fans Forum had a brilliant, brilliant week and are now right back in contention. Before we go each game individually and do a bit of sport and predictions and all the rest of it, it's only right and appropriate that we give our sponsor a little bit of a shout out. So here they are.
He's target 5. Here comes
love that crunch.
Let me add a little bit of spice.
So there you go. And again, the chat's still going great. And, fair play to that, Joel there in the chat. I'll just bring it on the screen. He said the most special bit, I think he's talking about yesterday in the quiz, was the kids coming on. It was absolutely wonderful to see.
Yeah. And Tina's picking on me now.
Yeah, Tina. It's probably Sam, actually. Sammy giving you a bit, which is even better. Good on him. Good on him. Well, I did say that, if you carried on like you're going, Reg, he might just have to replace you 1 week. He's geared up for that. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. He'll come,
you're picking on me.
He'll come on alongside you, mate.
You're copping it today, Paul.
He'll come on alongside you, Reggie. Yeah, that's what he'll do. He'll come on alongside you for a bit of sport. Right, round 8 fixtures. He's saying yay in the chat, so he's well up for that, is our Sam. So round 8 fixtures, here they come. The Rhinos against the Giants, the Warriors taking on the Tigers, Saints Hull FC, Wire take on the Leopards. Bit of a, by all accounts, be careful around Warrington. Some very loose Super League raw men are going to be in pint. I mean, a pint of plenty there. Broncos against the Red Devils, and then the Dragons. Sorry about that, Tina. Yes, you're right. I did the badges. Yes, Wolves. I forgot to put Leigh's badge on. My apologies.
I'm speaking on you now.
Dragons against. I know these people in their dizzy heights on their golden thrones. Throwing their toys out the pram. It's a disgrace. Dragons against. All right, we'll see him on. We'll see him on Saturday and give him a good beating. Dragons against the Robins. The Dragons against the Robins brings the curtain down on the weekly fixtures. Right, okay, let's get straight to this. We're going to start with that top game, if we may. It's on Friday. It's the Giants going to the Rhinos. Last season, of course, 8th and 7th, respectively. Currently position, sorry. Current 8th and 7th. And as you can see there, last year at Headingley, both games went the way of the Rhinos. In round 8, it was close. It was 18-17, a really close game. Then that massive blowout, if you remember, when they absolutely did the Giants 54-0. It was a shocking display from Huddersfield, and that was the one where Burrow and his family was there before, if you remember that one. And then round 23 at the John Smiths, the Giants getting a bit of revenge, 21 points to 12, a win there. As you can see, current league positions again. Sorry, the Giants are 6th, they're not 9th, but Leeds are 8th. Current game odds 11-10. The Rhinos, Giants 4-5 on, and are currently in better form than Leeds. Of course, that win against Catalan will really have given him a lot of confidence. I've said there, players to watch, Matt Frawley and Jake Connor. The reason I picked Frawley is I do think at some point, he's got to start standing up, hasn't he? He's got to start standing up for me. Connor, we saw a bit of quality from him at the weekend, but I actually gave this in the news because I do a promo for round 8 and I called it the Duel of Fate, the Rhinos and the Giants. I think this is a must-win for Rowan Smith, or he's going to be following Uncle Tony down the road. That's my personal belief. What do you think, boys?
Yeah, I think it's a bit like the St. Helens thing, in terms of not as bad, but Leeds expect to have, a top 6 side and playoffs, and they soon get on top of the coaches when they're not in that position. And they have been very indifferent this season. Although I think they probably played tougher opposition than Huddersfield so far. So it's going to be a very interesting game, and this is the one I'm going to be tuning into on Friday night. 100%. I think it's going to be very close. I'm intrigued to see what happens, and we'll see.
Well, I think Frawley is. I think Joel said when he was at the Giants, he wasn't what they expected him to be. I think Frawley is a decent player, but is he Super League standard? I keep asking myself that. You've got Brodie Croft alongside you. You know, Brodie Croft can open up any defence, put anybody through a gap if he's got the right person next to him. And I think, and you know, I might get pelters for this, as I usually do, but I don't think Frawley's the one. I really don't. I think, you know, I don't think you say he's got to come good. I don't know whether he can, if I'm being honest with you. And that's no disrespect to the guy. You know, I'll never disrespect anybody who crosses that white line and plays rugby league. But I think Brodie Croft needs somebody with a little bit more guile, a little bit more brains, a bit more rugby league smarts about them. And I don't think Frawley's got that.
I think the interesting thing is he's going to be on decent money as well, and again, it's that justifiable piece. Can you justify? And you know, people, you know, Leeds fans continue to say, you know, they've got young talent in their academies, and you look at what Frawley's. And do you know what? Warrington's the perfect one for this. Drinkwater can't get in the side now because a young academy product in Leon Hayes has been given a chance. He's took it with both hands, and he's undroppable. And you know, Leeds are similar. They've got some really good young kids that play in the halves. And you know, in the same spirit of what Burgess has done at Warrington, at some point, something's got to give. If Frawley doesn't start to deliver, give one of the kids a go. Before I ask you for your predictions, I'll come back to you in 2 seconds, Reg. Let me just give you the lie of the land on this. Foster 2 is expected. May return for this. He's expected to be back. James Bentley out. HIA. He's not recovered enough. Tom Holwood also hasn't recovered from his HIA. He's out. We know Ash Handley's out for a significant period. Kieran Hudson potentially back, but will he get in the 17? The good one is Sangari. Sangari's back after his suspension. So some misses there. Sam Halsall is supposedly back as well for the Huddersfield Giants. So that's the lay of the land as we know it on a Tuesday this far out from the weekend. Right, let's go back to Reggie. We've got to call this one. Leeds against Huddersfield. Go there and do what they didn't manage to do last year and turn over the Rhinos at Headingley.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Roach has got his rosary beads out. He's playing 3 Hail Marys. I think the win against Catalan will take a lot out of Huddersfield. Mm-hmm. Not many teams go there and win, and it can be quite a sapping experience, as we found out as Warrington fans and other teams have found out. But I don't think Leeds are firing all cylinders, and I think Frawley is a weak link, if I can be quite rude about him. They've got a few players out, their confidence is low, and this is where Greg kicks the cat. I've gone Giants 1-8. So
you're seeing it quite tight. Here's one as well from Joel. Joel saying that Elliot Wallace is in contention, and of course we were waxing lyrical about Mr. Wallace earlier in the campaign. Before I bring Steph in, let's just go through a few of the people that are in the chat and predicting. Ryan Birch has gone the Giants 9-17. Peter Mason, good evening to Peter. He's gone Giants by 16, which is, again, a lot of love for Huddersfield. Don Kirkby, proud owner of the Hull KR ball. She's 1-8. Alex Sharp is absolutely delighted that Greg has picked Huddersfield, because that gives his Leeds Rhinos a really good chance of winning this one. He's gone, yes, Reggie, thank you, in the chat.
Alex, I'll have a lovely cold pint of IPA waiting for me at Headingley next time.
I'm sure you will, mate. He'll hire out the entire South Stand for you, mate. Don't you worry about that. Tina Holt and Sammy Holt there. They've gone the Giants 24-12. Very specific. Love that. Peter Mason, bring back Jackson Hastings to partner Croft. That'd be an interesting partnership.
That'd be an interesting partnership.
It will be a very interesting partnership.
Are they
Pardon?
too similar? Too similar?
Possibly, yeah, possibly. But that said, I think Hastings has got a better kicking game. So, you know, it has got a better kicking game. Right then, okay, Steph, we've done the ins and the outs. You've seen what the fans forum have had to say there who are watching us tonight. What's your take on this Leeds Huddersfield?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be the most interesting game on Friday night. I think on the Frawley front, it's like if you ordered a halfback from Wish for me. At the minute there.
Other cut price websites are available.
Yeah, it's and that's not. I've been saying that all season. I don't think he's the best. I think they could do far worse than look at Drinkwater at Warrington. You know, a bit like Leigh did with Brad Dwyer. You know, and I'm sure Warrington will be happy with that as well.
I'll drive him there myself.
But I think he would actually link up really well with Croft because they're two slightly different players. He's a bit more structured and then Croft's a bit more off the cuff. So I think they could work really well. So I think they could do far worse than looking at him. But in terms of the game, I think it will take a lot of Huddersfield in terms of going to Catalan and putting that massive performance in and the travel and all that kind of thing. Leeds, you know, they've had a week off. So I think that might just be the difference in this game at Headingley. And I've gone Leeds 1-8.
You have.
Based on my form, Huddersfield fans should be made up with that.
Well, maybe. Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's go through the other predictions. So Gary Schofield, he has gone Huddersfield 1-8. Neil Rennex, good evening to you, Neil, another member. First time he's come in. He's going Team U for Frawley in the chat. Is our Neil. Good to see you, Neil. But yeah, Huddersfield 1-8, Gary Schofield. Joel has gone 1-8. Apologies from Joel. He's due back next week. We wish Joel well. He's a bit under the weather at the minute, is our Joel. We wish him well. He's in the chat, though. He's watching. He's here in spirit, is our Joel. And fans forum, they've gone Huddersfield 1-8. A lot of love. I've gone Huddersfield. So everybody's going 1-8. I'm going Huddersfield 9-17. I'm going Huddersfield by 9-17. I think at the moment, I just don't know what to make of Leeds. I really don't. I think they're missing some heavy artillery up front. You know, in this one, the Hanley one's a massive blow. I mean, that is just huge. I mean, he's been far and away their best. It's not just his tries; it's the work he does out of backfield. And I've never ever been sold on Foster. Never been. I don't think he's put a shift in for the blue and amber ever since he come. Quite frankly, he's the Darren Anderton of Leeds Rhinos. He's the biggest sick note I've seen. So for me, not convinced on David. I have to say, sorry, David. That's that in conversation gone. But what I would say is, in the same spirit of Tex Hoy, I called Tex Hoy, didn't I? I've been saying it all season. Called it, and there you go. He's been kiboshed.
There's a few very similar. Very similar players.
Yeah, he wasn't of the quality. So Hanley's a massive loss. I think they're struggling in the middle unit. And I just think that the confidence, Huddersfield want to continue momentum going into the semi-final. They will not want to take the foot off the accelerator. They'll want to keep pushing forward. And do you know what? At the moment, I'm just going to go Huddersfield 9-17. Joel said, wow, in the chat. Yeah, I'm going with you, buddy. I'm going with you. I'm going 9-17. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Right, we now go to, this won't take us long, Wigan Warriors against the Castleford Tigers. 60 points to 6. Challenge Cup final. Wow, just simply wow. And if you look at the two meetings last year as well, again at the Jungle, 36 points to 0, and then 48-6. I mean, that's not good. It really isn't. Look at the odds: 1 to 1,000. Yeah, you're not misreading that. Wigan 1 to 1,000 on doesn't bode well that for the Castleford Tigers. I think Broadbent's got to have a bigger game. I think he's got to come back fighting. That's why I put him as the one to watch. And because Field actually was not, he wasn't amazing in that quarter final. It was the supporting cast that really shone. So maybe this is the moment where Mr. Field takes his place and really romps home against the Tigers. But 1,000 to 1, just simply wow. Right, Wigan, let's go there. Ethan Havard might be back, but that's good news. Mike Cooper,
that's good news for Wigan.
And Cooper might be back for this one, which again is interesting in terms of those middle unit positions.
Start them both on the bench and
yeah. Well, it's a good game for him to come back, isn't it?
Yeah, start them both on the bench and ease them in.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as for the Castleford Tigers, big problems for Castleford. George Griffin, he could be back. George Griffin. George Lawler, they're not going to be risking him, and rightly so. So George Lawler's not there. Liam Watts is back from suspension. That's good news. No McShane, he's not expected to play. He's expected the week after, maybe the week after that. Massive blow for Castleford. In the same spirit as we were talking about Ash Handley for Leeds a moment ago, Josh Sim out for the season. That's a massive blow because he has played really well. Good evening, Steph. He's been playing really, really well. And again, I don't know how much Alex Mellor as well, shoulder to be confirmed. He might be gone again, which should be a...
Blandy Usty might get a game.
Right blow there for Casper. So right, so let's not dwell on it. I can't remember what Schofield said. I think he said something like 50-odd points he saw Wigan putting on him at the DW. Steph, I'll start with you on this one. Wigan Cass, let's in the interest of time, go for it.
Massacre.
Yeah.
Is he playing?
Yeah. He's the new signing from New Zealand.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, no, sorry, Cass fans. It's not going to be pretty, is it? And hence why I'll be tuning into the Huddersfield and Leeds game for this one. But I will, may have a try. If you want to bet on the whole of Wigan's back line to win, then to score a try, this week, then that's probably a good little tip.
It probably is.
WhatsApp group there.
Yeah, we were talking to the WhatsApp group. Another great reason to become a member. WhatsApp groups are a great bit of a laugh when the game's on. If you're not at the match and you're watching it on your armchair and you've got the WhatsApp group going, the banter's there, the chat's there. Greg Roach said it's like being at the game with your mates. It's just good banter watching the game. Great stuff. So are you going to put a number on it? I mean, you're going 18 plus, but go on. What do you think? Where could Wigan get to? 40, 50, 60? Where do you see it?
I think they'll break the 50.
They're going to break the half century. Greg, over to you.
Well,
Kieran need Kieran to kick though.
Yeah, we had that chat, didn't we? Yeah, we did.
Harry Smith to kick because he's in my fantasy team. Imagine that doesn't make much difference anyway, does it?
Actually, on that point, Greg, good point. Don't forget, you've got to do your substitutions for the fantasy team before midday on Thursday. So remember, season ticket up for grabs for the winner. Ryan's getting a sweat on there. If Tony Pennington's watching, I've just reminded Tony, check his team.
Tony's making his subs. He told me Tony's making his subs.
Yeah, making his subs. So yeah, there's a season ticket up for grabs for the winner of the Fantasy League this year. Again, another great reason to be a member. We were just giving loads of prizes away this year. But yeah, sorry, Greg, I had to say that. Get your fantasy team subs done. Go on, mate. Over to you.
18 plus Wigan.
But by what? Where do you think they'll get to? 40, 50, 60?
Oh, God, it could be. I agree with Steph. It's going to be 50 plus. And Castleford could quite possibly be nilled.
Yeah, you could see that. I mean, everybody's going. Joel's goal says cricket score. Ryan Birch saying 8,065 plus.
Alex has made a good point there. Actually, do we give rest any players?
But they're not, because Cooper coming back, Ensemba coming in. You've got young Harvey Hill. I mean, you just look across that Wigan team. And I mean, possibly.
O'Neill, I've been really impressed with.
Yeah,
I think he's been brilliant at Wigan this season.
Yeah.
Been superb, O'Neill.
Yeah.
I mean, could they afford to put like a Fairmond in? Yeah, they probably could. Could. They'll still win 18 plus. So yeah, there might be a bit of that. But I think what we've seen from Pete, which is admirable, I think the London one will have scared him a little bit. He did that at London. He made some really big calls at London, and it could have. I mean, they walked it in the end, but there's a big sweat on after 50, 55 minutes at London. So maybe if he's going to make changes, there might be just one or two, is what I would say. And they still should have more than enough. Unfortunately, I have noticed that we haven't seen much of Andy and Sue all year. I think that they've just lost the will, Andy and Sue. I wish them well if they are watching, but our cast friends from many a season. They just don't seem to be around this year.
I think Andy and Sue were there at the start, weren't they?
They were, mate. They were with us when it was just me and you, and it was a Zoom, and it was just no production, no nothing, just me and you. Those were the days.
They were talking to the millions.
I know, the 2 or 3 that came along. But anyway, everybody's gone Wigan 18 plus. Let's move on to the next Friday night game, and it's another. I mean, this is intriguing. It's intriguing. It's got to be said. Hull FC change of coach. always interesting. 10th in Super League, plays 3rd in Super League. That was last year, of course. This year, 5th, plays 11th. I mean, the tail of the tape. Who can forget that game at the MKM, though, last year? Remember that? 34 points to 6. Nobody gave Hull FC a prayer. That was the one where Wellesby, if you remember, in the in goal, had a right mare. And I think it was Truman that put it down. There's a bit. Hey, there you go for you people who doubted me. There's knowledge. Happy days. But, you know, Saints at home, 2012, 30 points to 12. They are going to be reeling, Saints. They're going to be reeling. I mean, Helens will have given them a serious kick this week. 1-50 on, 12-1. Hull not doing too well, let's be fair. Jack Wellesby had a shocker, I thought. He was absolutely almost targeted by Warrington. And I'm just going to say it again, Jack Wellesby, one of the best players in the league, but let me tell you now, he was well and truly put to bed in that game at the weekend. They targeted Wellesby. They got under his skin and it affected his game. You know, kicks going out on the full. You saw his face when Harrison went in. They proper riled Wellesby up and he didn't like it. Jack Charles, again, in the spirit of what we're talking about, these young people coming through. Really looking forward to seeing more Jack Charles as well. Before I bring you in, Reggie, Percival expected to come back, so that's a positive for him. Matty Lee's, of course, still out. Wingfield out. Walmsley out with a hamstring. Not too bad, we're hearing. He tweaked it. It's not. I'm not heard it's a tear. And Curtis Sivinen probably will be rested on this. And again, when you think, we said this about Willie Isa, if you're going to lose a player, this is a place where Saints can afford to lose a player. They've got so much in that back row. They're not going to be too worried about Curtis Sivinen sitting here a couple of weeks out. As for Hull FC, take your pick, lads. Brad Fash, Jake Truman, Harvey Barron, Jack Walker could be back. He's 50-50, Jack. That'd be a big bonus for him if Jack Walker's back the way he was playing early doors. Tim Avari's still out. Danny Houghton, more than might be back, might not be back. We're hearing on that. Of course, stably out for the season. Ashworth's out till round 13. Sal's out because he's banned again. Jack Brown, he's not going to be here this week. Of course, the other new Brown and Hoy have gone. So it's going to be a really threadbare squad. There's nothing about that on this one. But yeah, there you go. That's the ins and the outs. Just put this up, Dawn. Has Duffy removed Wellesby from his pocket yet? I don't know, Dawn. I don't know. Has he went to Costa to buy a latte and Jack fell out? I don't know how true that is. It's just, you know, CCTV cameras in Stockton Heath, Warrington, I believe. Anyway, that's by the by. Greg, I'll start with you on this one. Saints, bruised, battered. Catalan, I mean, lost to Catalan. This one against Warrington is going to sting. The coming up FC. FC going to bear the brunt.
Absolutely raging.
Yeah,
we're going to be on fire for this one. You know, what a time if you are a struggling team to go and face somebody like Saints. But it might galvanise Hull. They might have watched that Warrington performance and see that Saints can be beaten. Saints can be beaten at home. If you nullify the threat of the big forwards, if you face up to them, then they can be beaten. So I'm going for Saints 18+.
No real surprise there. Saints Hull FC. Steph, where are you going with this one, my friend?
I was laughing at Myler might play by Neil.
Well, you know what? I saw a post on Facebook saying they actually said, I hope he's bringing his boots with him. Which is fair play.
Why not?
Why not, indeed, yeah.
No, I think the Saints will be playing the new French lad here, cricket score. Yeah.
Oh, that's painful.
Night, everyone. Night.
That's painful, that. Real painful. Anyway.
Yeah, this is going to be another big score, this one.
Yeah.
Saints are going to be wounded from last week. I think they want to put an example down here and show what they're actually made of.
Absolutely. Leigh, I'm going to come to that in a minute. We'll have a little conversation around that. Get some questions in the chat. We will answer them. I'm going to answer that one in a minute. We'll have a little chat about that, Leigh. Well done, Leigh Partington, there in the chat. Right, let's just finish off the Saints. Everybody's gone Saints 18+. I don't think anybody can see it anywhere else. Neil Rennox is calling you a taxi, Steph. Neil, he actually needs a lift home on Saturday from Warrington. So if you book the Uber from Warrington on Saturday, I think you'd probably thank you for that taxi. Quite frankly,
there's plenty more giving me good comments there. Don't just get the bad one.
To be fair, you're normally good for a wisecrack, mate, but that wasn't one of your best. It's got to be said. Right. So yeah,
Joe Root's got a decent taxi company over at Headingley. You might be able to use it.
Maybe. Right, let's just because we've got a bit of time. Leigh Partington's thrown one in. It's an interesting question. This, based on what happened this weekend, who will be higher in the table after this week? Wigan or Saints? Is that? I'm going to go season here. Who'll be higher in the table after this week? Wigan or Saints? Because they're both level on points, aren't they?
Yeah, Wigan have got a game in hand though.
Yeah, but they're level on points at the moment. So let's go to the league. Let's bring that up. Here we go. So as you can see, there's the Warriors 110, and as you can see, Saints 80. So I think on points difference, you'd probably say Wigan are a shoo-in. So let's change that a little bit. After 7 rounds, after what we've seen in the Challenge Cup, Saints beat Wigan and beat them well. On Good Friday, it was a great game of rugby league. These two are still the favourites for the league leaders. Forget the Challenge Cup. Challenge Cup. Warrington had a great win, but these two teams are still the two favourites. And this is why I don't understand why Saints have gone rogue. The Saints fans have gone rogue. Just don't get it at all. These two are the teams that, for me, are the favourites to finish with a league leaders shield. Based on what we've seen, Wigan, they've turned Wigan over. Do Saints realistically have a chance of winning the shield this season? What?
Are we talking about? I thought the question was after this.
Yeah, but the points difference, it's going to be Wigan because Wigan will put a bigger points difference on cast than Saints will. So I've spun it a little bit.
Wigan will be higher at the end of this weekend, and Wigan will be higher at the end of the season.
Do you think? It's easy as that. Yeah. Thanks for the debate, Greg. Come again next week.
Right.
It's great to have you.
Well, if we will let me in, I will do.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think it's a good question because I still think there's a lot of rugby in Saints. I think that, and the fact that now they've got 2 breaks, they don't want the breaks, but they're going to have 2 breaks in the semi-final weekend, and with the injuries they picked up, the like of Wormsley, etc., that'll help them in terms of league leaders, and especially if we can get to the final, that'll probably help Saints in terms of league and all the rest of it. But do we think that, somebody put in the chat, I don't know who it was, forgive me, Saints in crisis. It's amazing that we're saying Saints are in crisis when they're 2 points off the top of the league and they've been knocked out.
Saints aren't in crisis.
They're not in crisis.
I wish Leigh were in crisis.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do we think St Helens can topple Wigan for the shield? Not for the grand final, for the shield.
They can. Do I think they will? No. I've watched both teams play this season against my team. Very close game against St Helens with the Totally Wicked. They were the right team to win, but very close game. Wigan absolutely battered us at our place.
Yeah.
So from watching both teams live this season, I think Wigan are a step above, and that's not just St Helens, that's everybody. And that, as a Leigh fan, is obviously horrendous for me to say. But you got to give credit where credit's due, and I think they've got the best team. And I think Alex made a good point. I don't even think Saints will be second. I think Catalan will be second, Saints will be third.
Well, our friend Craig Rigby is going wire. He thinks it'll be a wire Wigan top 2, which I'd snatch your hand off, Craig. I'd snatch your hand off with that one.
There's an interesting point being made, though.
Yeah.
If Wigan get, this wasn't the point, but it was kind of hinted at. If Wigan get to Wembley, when do they fit that game in hand in? Because last year, I think the game in hand was played Challenge Cup final.
I think they're just going to give it to Leigh and just write it off.
Well, be very probably your best chance of winning against Wigan, mate, on your current form, isn't it? Against them,
probably, definitely,
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Personally, if Warrington and Wigan get to Wembley, I'd make Wigan play that league game on the Friday night.
Of course you would. And just in case anybody's interested, Greg will be tipping Wigan for that final as well. All day long, the Midas touch that is Greg. Start calling him goal predictor.
I am the man with the Midas touch.
He's the man with the Midas touch, goal predictor.
I'm still picking Hook AR for the Challenge Cup.
Mate, you could be right, mate. You could be right. Outstanding stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, like I say, if you've got a good question, we'll have a little chat about it. Not a problem at all. Well done, Leigh. Enjoyed that. Right, we now go to the game at the HJ. We'll be there, boys. Warrington Wolves taking on the Leigh Leopards. Last year, it was 1-1 in the series. 2 games, 38-20. Because of the pre-seasons, it's like we played them loads of times, but in competitive matches, it was only the 2. And Leigh won very, very well. It has to be said, at the LSV, we were there that night, courtesy of Mr. Sale. It's fair to say Leigh got off to a shocker this year. The injuries have been massive for them. Warrington only 2-11, 4-1 Leigh away. George Williams, Lachlan. I think Lachlan Lamb is him and Moylan a key. Williams was just, if that same Williams turns up at the Halliwell on Saturday that played in the Challenge Cup, then we're in for a treat, because there's nothing better than seeing a player at the top of his game. What I would say, and if you permit me, I'm going to go first on this one, boys, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. And I normally let you boys go first, but I'm going to have a moment. Let me have a moment. Have
a moment, Dave. Have a moment. Why not?
I'm a bit. Do you know what? I think, we heard Greg in the early parts of the season go on about London. I mean, how many times did we hear Greg talk about London being a critical game for the Warrington Wolves? Yes, you, Greg. Yeah.
Greg wrote.
You, Greg. And it was always about London. The London game was going to be the critical game. And I kept saying, what are you on about? This is a massive game for Warrington, because they've just beaten Saints brilliantly well. Brilliantly well. They're going up against the Leigh team that are down on troops, but Leigh have still got quality. You talk about mindset, you talk about culture, you talk about where Warrington are currently at. If Warrington go and beat Leigh on Saturday, that for me is a really good test passed for Warrington in terms of where their mentality is at, because they could have gone out on a bender this week for happy days. We've made it. They've done it before. Right, here we go, lads. We've turned the corner and come crashing down. And Leigh have been in most games this season, many games that Leigh have not been in. They will be competitive no matter what team they put on that field of play. So for me, this is a critical game for the Warrington Wolves. I do think Warrington will win it. I think, I'm going the way. I'm going Y9-17. And I'm doing that because of who wouldn't, based on league positions, where we're currently at, current form. Everything points to a Warrington 9-17. But I'm telling you now, I would not be surprised if hearts are in mouths and this is a bit of a grind. And it would not surprise me 60 minutes in if Warrington are behind. This is going to be a real test for their mentality. Go on, Greg. I'm going to bring you in on this because I mentioned you in London. Your thoughts on
the reason I mentioned London was the mentality. I know I got pelters for that.
You did, yeah.
It was the mentality thing that in the past Warrington have gone to places like London, like Huddersfield when they were struggling and they've got beat. Huddersfield hadn't won a game in Super League in 2005, I think it was.
Yeah.
They'd lost 20 odd on the bounce. We went there and they battered us.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant by that mentality thing. That was the big game. And I agree with you on this one. Yeah. But I don't think Sam Burgess will let that happen. Yeah. I think he's a different kind of coach. And I'm not saying that because we're first, second, third in the league and we just beat Saints. I think it's become quite apparent over the last few weeks that this is there's a different mentality about Wire. I'm not saying they're going to win Super League. I'm not saying they're going to win the League Leaders Shield or the FA Cup or the Challenge Cup. I just think there's a bit of a mentality about them now because Sam Burgess won't let that happen. And I know the Leigh fans are starting to get a bit of a sweat on here now, but I've gone Warrington 18 plus, but 18 plus. I heard champagne corks popping in Leigh there, but 18 plus, but only as you say. I think Warrington will pull away in the last 15, 20 minutes. I think it might be a tight contest.
I'm going to deal with that now, Dawn. So Dawn's just in the chat. I'll deal with that now. So these are the runners and riders. First of all, Warrington. Josh Drinkwater, of course, is there, but he's just not getting a game. Zane Musgrove's out. He's going to be back around 11 or 12. The way Jimmy Harrison's playing, wow. Jimmy Harrison, take a bow this season. He's Wow. Paul Vaughan back. That's big. He's had a week off as well. He's rested. But Ben Curry out. So Ben Curry not there, but Crowther.
Having said that, I thought Crowther was absolutely immense on Sunday.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't get the plaudits he deserved. He was superb.
I'm filming.
I'm filming.
Yeah.
But how Fitzgibbon or Harrison didn't get man of the match, I'm completely dumbfounded.
Harrison, I mean, some of his runs and he didn't come off better on a few of them. He just basically ran as hard as he could. Sometimes he got the better of it, some of it he didn't, but he just didn't take a backward step. Gareth O'Brien, no, he's out. So basically, this is Leigh. Again, Steph, you're close to this, so if I'm wrong on any of this, let me know. No Nathan Wild. Ipape's still out. We're hearing next week. 2 more weeks, 1 or 2 more weeks. So he'll be back perhaps the week after. No Briscoe, but even if he was back, Briscoe, he wouldn't be getting in the side. I'm sorry, Hanley's undroppable. Keenan Brand, he's not going to be there. Robbie Mulhern, he's out until about round 12. We're hearing maybe a little
big miss. That's
Gareth O'Brien, the same. So still no Asiata, still no Ipape. Mulhern now and O'Brien are also gone. Big problems that for the Leigh Leopards. I'll come back to your comment, Dawn Baker, in a minute when we finish the Warrington Leigh game. Steph, over to you, mate. I'm going 9-17 wire. Greg's gone 18 plus. Just for your information, Schofield's gone 9-17 wire. Joel's gone 18 plus the wire, as has the fans forum. Where do you see it, mate?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right in terms of this is the game that's going to define Warrington's season for me. And it's not just because Leigh are a half-decent side, in my opinion. I just think this is a potential last year you would have slipped up on. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think that the team is playing so well at the moment. And even after that massive, the jubilation of winning the quarterfinal, getting to a semi-final of the cup and everything, I still don't think it's going to affect Warrington in this game. Leigh have only in the league lost by 1 try in every game apart from the Wigan game. So I do think it's not going to be a blowout, even with the injuries we've got. And I think the Hull KR game showed that, because I think everyone was expecting us to go to Hull KR and get an absolute pasting. And the boys showed some real good effort in that game. And, did the Leopards badge proud, I thought, in that game. And I think they'll do the same at Warrington on Saturday. But I do think it's going to be a Warrington win. I think it'll be by a couple of tries. So I've got 9-17 Warrington.
Good man. Neil Reddocks is saying, I think that's a really good point, Neil. Neil back in the chat. Leigh should play Hardacre at fullback. Completely agree. Moylan needs to go back to 6 and Chamberlain into the centre. There's one thing that we learned about Matt Moylan. He's not a fullback. That is absolutely certain. I'm going to go to Dawn in a minute. I mean, there's a couple of... We don't know who you are because you're obviously on the fans forum page, not on the Super League Raw page. Listen to yourselves. How do you say there's going to be an upset? This is utter rubbish. No, it ain't. We're all saying Warrington are going to win. Right, this isn't rubbish what we're talking. I'll always challenge it.
Yeah, I don't know what they're getting at there saying utter rubbish, guys.
Well, if it's Warrington, if it's the fact that we're saying that Leigh could come and surprise, go and tell that to Catalan. Huddersfield went and surprised them. Go and tell that to Castleford and Salford. This is rugby league. If you don't turn up with the right mindset in rugby league, you get turned over. So this is a valid conversation. We're saying that Warrington should win. They should win. Everything points to a Warrington win.
100%.
For whatever reason, if Warrington don't go with the right mentality on Saturday, let me tell you now, Leigh have got enough quality to do exactly what happened to Salford at Cass and exactly what Huddersfield did to Catalan. Super League, rugby league is a brutal sport, and you've got to turn them up. If you don't turn up with the right mindset, you're gone. So I'll always challenge.
Look what happened to Saints on Sunday against us. For all intents and purposes, everybody was saying Saints had walked that game.
Yes.
So whoever it is, I'm not going to give you pelters, but just quantify what you mean by utter rubbish. Just let us know what point we're making. We're not having a go at you.
Yeah.
We just want to know why you think we're talking rubbish, mate. That's all we're saying.
Absolutely. TGN.
Any point is valid as long as you quantify it.
Absolutely. And like I say, in the spirit of back and forth, we'll be back and forth with you. TGN, what are your thoughts on Texoy to Cass? They're already unwell enough, mate. I don't think they need to get any more under the weather, quite frankly, is what I would say to TGN. Sorry, but Sorry, Tex. Your dad can bleat all he wants on Twitter for me. Quite frankly, you've had your opportunities. You had many opportunities at Hull FC. At no point did I see a Super League player. Sorry, I'd rather a young kid get an opportunity like Davy Litton, because I think Davy Litton would have been playing a lot better for Hull FC than Tex Hoy was.
He's one of the guys that we bumped into at Old Trafford, Dave.
Oh, top man, TGN. Good lad. Good to have you with us, my friend. We were on good form that day, if you remember.
Got some video. I'm sure
I don't remember that day, to be honest.
It was a great one, TGN.
I had a few Mango Unchained.
Great to have your company, TGN. Great to maybe become a member. Get closer to the action. It'd be absolutely marvellous to have you. Right, let's get back into the games. We now go to London. London against Salford. Again, we all think at some point London could nick a game. If they're going to nick a game, this is one of them that they've got to look at as an opportunity. As good as Salford have played from large parts of this season, that Castleford game shows that, like I said, anything can happen in a rugby league match. London have been competitive to a point. They've had little glimpses. They've stayed in games. I mean, the Wigan one's a great example. They were in that up to 60 minutes against the World Club champions. So you've got to give them. They very nearly beat Hull FC at the MKM. So they've got it in them. 12 plays 7th, 10-1, 1-25. The Salford Red Devils for this one. How can it not be Tim Lafai? 18 tackle busting round number 7, absolute colossal. Tim Lafai, what a player. All I will say is good luck, Akeem Maludi, on this one, because you're going to be coming up against Big Tim, and that is not something that I'd want to be doing, quite frankly. James Meadows, I think he's a class player, this kid. I think he'll be a Super League player somewhere next year. And at some point, I think James Meadows, mate, I think he's going to have a wow game. And that wow game will probably when London pick up a point. That's my perfect one. I do. Oh, he was dressed in the onions. Oh, he's the onion man. Remember the onion man?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's the onion man. Oh, top stuff. You know who you are now. Lovely stuff. Outstanding.
James Meadows to Leeds next season. Maybe.
Hey, do you know what,
good
mate?
shout.
It's a good shout. They could do a lot of work. You're spot on.
I said that earlier in the season.
Yeah, I agree. 12 months of Super League under his belt. Do you know what? That is a very, very good shout.
Ollie thingy as well. Is it Ollie?
Ollie Leyland, yeah, young Ollie Leyland, yeah. I mean, Stu Melton there, Broncos could win it. Do you know what? They could do. Peter Mason, after 60 minutes, Salford run away by 20 plus. Again, that has been what's been happening, hasn't it? They've been quite competitive, and then in the end, they've been blown out. Steph, I'm going to start with you, but before I do, let's just quickly go through it. No real new injury concerns. Joe Scholl saying he'd have Ollie Leyland at Huddersfield. I think, quite a few people would. Again, low centre of gravity, the Burrow Hayes type of player. Obviously, I'm not comparing. Before anybody starts giving me pelters, I'm not comparing Leon Hayes to Burrow. I'm not, okay? But that type of player. Not yet. Yeah, that type of player, low centre of gravity, good stuff. As for Salford, still no Sidlow. Ankinson's going to be around 13, as is Brad Singleton. Dudson, not 100%, but should be okay. Burren might miss this week. He might be back next week. So a couple of absentees there for Salford. Not many. They should be able to cope with them. Steph, I'll start with you. London, Salford. Could it happen? Could this be where London post the first points?
No. Salford are going to win. Salford are going to win it easy. There's a bit of history with this one, actually, because Mike Eccles actually started as the conditioning coach at Salford. So...
So Craig Rigby's having a little bit of banter here. The WhatsApp banter has come on to Super League Raw Weekly. Callum, your predictions are still running the national, is what Craig says to Callum. So good banter. Carry on, Steph. Carry on.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just saying that there's a bit of history here because Mike Eccles actually started his rugby league career at Salford as the conditioning coach there. So he's obviously got a bit of an affinity with Salford, and I'm sure he'll have London well up for it, and I'm sure they'll put in a decent performance again. But Salford will just have too much for them in the backs more than anything, and I think it's going to be 18 plus.
Greg?
18 plus Salford.
I'm going to surprise you here. So everybody's got 18 plus by me. I'm going 9-17. I think Salford win, but I just think I'm going to give Mike Eccles and his team a little bit of respect here. Maybe they'll keep him within 9-17. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's where I'm going to go. Tina Hall, London 8, Salford 2. That'd be an exciting game, wouldn't it, Sammy? We're not going to that one. But hey, if you're right, do you know what?
Is that after 10 minutes?
But possibly. Do you know what? If he's right, you can have a bigger hamper. And that'll be out of my own pocket. Yeah, I mean, not many people are going. Nobody. Is London still only got 7? Is London still? Oh, they're on about the bets. We're not going there. Yeah, I think everybody's going Salford. I'm going Salford. I'm going to go 9-17. Right, the last game. This has been chosen. I put it out there as a poll today. It was a toss-up. Which was your game of the week? The duel of fates, Leeds against Huddersfield and Rowan Smith. Is he going to be, if he was to lose, would he get sacked, etc., etc.? Or was it the top end of the table clash, which is quite mouthwatering, really? And this is the one that you've chosen. So game of the week, the 30-minute analysis show, that will be uploaded on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. 30 minutes of deep analysis. We will look at every position. We'll look at how these people are playing. We'll have had the squads by then. We'll predict the starting lineups. We'll do all the usual good stuff. So game of the week is back this week. A full deep dive into this game. Catalan Dragons against Hull KR. Right, let's take a look at last year. Of course, Catalan second and runners up in the grand final. Fourth, Hull KR, that late surge last year. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Round 5 in Perpignan, 26 points to 12 to the Dragons. Round 15 in Perpignan, 38 points to 4 the Dragons. And then in round 24, Hull KR, of course, that late surge, they pipped the Dragons 26-18 at Craven Park. Great effort, that one. Current league position, Dragons top, Hull KR fourth again. The bookies have got this tight, 2-5, 2-1. Really, really tight there. Both in great form. Of course, the Hull KR doesn't take into account the Challenge Cup. So with the Challenge Cup thrown in, they're on a 4-game winning streak. Catalan are on a 4-game winning streak in Super League. Of course, they lost at the Challenge Club. Jaden Nicarima, first game back after injury. I think he'll be better in this one against KR. And for me, yes, Mikey Lewis is in great form. Yes, he is. So's Hiku, but Nye Levels has been a revelation. A revelation. Yeah. He's just been incredible. Since he's gone back to fullback, it's for me revolutionised the strike. He's been outstanding as Nye Levels, and we're going to give him his due, and rightly so. Catalan, Desiree could be back. That'd be big. I think they missed Desiree. I think off the bench, Jordan Desiree is a big unit for Catalan and does a good job. Mickey McAloran might be back. Another big bonus for him. Abdul's out. They haven't said how long, but it's going to be a few weeks that at the very, very least. And Tom Johnston may be back if he's passed his HIA protocols. We don't know if he has or not. Like the Bentleys and the Percivals, they might give him an extra week just to make sure there's no issues there. But Johnston will be back as well. Great news for KR. George King will be on the plane. He's back. I mean, he was not expected back for another 3 weeks, but he's actually recovered quicker than expected. Whether he gets into the 17 is another question. But George King is on the plane. Gildart may or may not be. Again, HIA protocols. We know Oliver's had a few issues there in his career. So it'll be interesting to see if he's back on his feet. If not, it'll be Opachik again. No issues there. And Sam Luckley is back from his suspension. So good news for KR and good news for some important, influential players coming back for both teams. One's on the crest of a wave. And again, in the same spirit as Huddersfield, they will not want to lose momentum. They will want to go and lay a marker down against Catalan. Of course they will. They'll want to keep momentum going into the semi against Wigan. As for Catalan, to quote Steve McNamara, it was an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment. He was embarrassed by the performance against Huddersfield. He gave Huddersfield all the credit, but he said it was simply not good enough. He had a lot of questions to ask of his team. So there's no doubt there's been some choice words in Perpignan this week, and they will be coming out absolutely firing. There's no doubt about it. This is an intriguing game. It's one not to be missed on Saturday night. Prime time entertainment, rugby league style. Oh, yes. Go on, Greg. Over to you, sir.
I think you're right. I think McNamara will have fired them up. And no disrespect to our Huddersfield friends, I don't think many people saw them turning Catalans over, and a great performance, and not just beating them, but embarrassing them. Yeah, and he's right, and I think that Catalan will be eager to bounce back, but I'm going to upset my Hull KR friends. I'm going to say they're going to win 9-17.
That is, and when you sent me your predictions, I looked at that and thought, wow, that's a big one. That's a proper shout from the Nixon.
Because I think that Catalan will try too hard, and when Catalan try too hard, it falls apart.
Well, it's a big shout, and KR fans will be delighted. Dawn Kirkby will be overjoyed, or maybe not. But no, do you know what? It could, mate. I think for me at the moment, I
said that Warrington will beat Saints.
Yeah,
and I just get that gut feeling that KR will beat Catalan. I think Catalan are stinging, and as Freddie says, Freddie says that Huddersfield have got a great record in Catalan, in Perpignan. I think KR, they were good last season, and I think the disappointment of the Challenge Cup final last season has given them a bit of steel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just get that feeling. You know when you get a feeling?
I know when you get a feeling. It don't happen that often now. I'm 46, but yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah,
absolutely. You know what the Black Eyed Peas says? I got a feeling.
Yeah, tonight's going to be a great night. It's been a fantastic night. Again, it's Rugby League chat on a Tuesday. You just can't beat a bit weekly, can you? This has been great. It's wonderful stuff. Greg, brilliant, mate. 9-17. And do you know what, mate? Absolutely, the way KR are playing. I mean, they are playing somewhat. I mean, Tanguy Noah,
and they've got the six senior brothers in the back line for them.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you know what, mate? Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, absolutely. I think KR. I mean, remember, I had him 7th. I didn't even have him in the top 6. I think it's going to be a right contest for those places, and I think it'll go down to the absolute wire this season. I do in terms of who's going to be in the playoffs. But I have to say, since the switch, I was pretty happy. Not happy for KR to be losing. I'm not saying that, but my prediction of 7 was looking pretty good when Iku was at fullback. But since they've changed it, I mean, it's a different side. And Tanguy Noah's return. Telepi Tanguy Noah, what a signing. And Whitbread. Just 2 brilliant signings. Gary Schofield's gone Catalan 9-17. Steph, we're coming to you in a minute. Joel 9-17 Catalan. The fans' form have gone 1-8 KR. So the fans' form have gone KR as well. I'm going Catalan 9-17. I think they'll fire back. I think they need to fire back, quite frankly. You see there, TGN, our onion-wearing friend. He's saying it's a big call, Reggie. He's saying it's a big call. But Pete Mason saying Catalan Dragons will KR too close to call. Do you know what?
And I know the forum will find this difficult to believe, but have been wrong in the past.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Have we all? As we have all. Some more than others, sir. Right. So, Steph, over to good evening. Steph, it still hurts that you've not won a prediction league yet after 3 seasons. Come on, mate. You've got it.
I let people have a chance to win.
You do. You're a sporting man.
I'm not about the glory. I'm just about the taking.
You're not, mate. You lose with grace. You do. Right, go on, Steph. Like I say, too close to call. Brilliant looking game. Can't wait for this. I'll be watching on Saturday night. I know you will be. Go on. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely. This is the game of the round. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be an absolute belter. I think the difference is going to be the 7 they're bringing in instead of Abdul. They're bringing in Just Nick It. They're going to just nick it.
Oh God! It's you know what I mean. Come on, it's getting shocking. You want to carry on?
Yes. So no, no. I think they're going to be stinging from the Huddersfield result, aren't they? And we've all been, all been saying how good Catalan have been this year. I think that was the blip on the copybook this year with last week's result. So I've got it. Catalan 9-17, especially if McLaurin comes back. I think that'll be the difference for them.
Rugby League, I think, will be the ultimate winner.
I can see McLaurin getting a red.
Well, yeah, maybe. But I think what we've seen this year in every round, gents, there's been a game where we've come on the final whistle on a Sunday, and we've just been like, "What a game! What a game!" Every round's had one, and I think this could be that game that we're, on the Final Whistle podcast on Sunday, we're saying, yeah, this was a hell of a game. It's got everything going for it. Just hope that KR travel well and make it a really good spectacle. Outstanding stuff. Super League Raw Weekly. It's been a great chat. It's fantastic to have had your company. Great chat as always, guys. Right, look.